Hey everybody, here's an update of the old van that I am refurbishing and making into my aka show van slash travel van. I did, since the last video of me showing you the original, I did paint the floors this brilliant blue. I did put some clear coat on it. Right now it's a little dirty. We did a little outing yesterday, so we got a little dust on it. Got some new tires put on. I do still have the Sony in there, plus I got my good old CB in here. Mounted that myself with a good old 10 bracket. Got my microphone right there mounted. I did change the lights out to the 6K LEDs. Still haven't done much with the ceiling yet. We do have plans. We're not sure if we're gonna do wood or if we're gonna just do a cloth on the ceiling, but we do need to finish supporting it because the guy welded strap steel only in the middles, not actually to the end where it should have been, all the way to here and here. So it is a little floppy when the base goes, but stroller's in here, sorry about that. But there's the boxes. Right now I'm only running 2 of the duals on those 2 boxes. I do have plans to putting 3 on that top box and 2 on this one. And then I have my tweeters running off of this one over here, this 12K. It's a little hard to see it, that one, but I do have 2 tweeters there, 2 of them there, and I have 4 more inside. I have the 4-ways down here in their boxes just for a little bit of sound for the passengers. Then I got the ones on the doors, and then I have the ones under the seats, which is pretty nifty. I do have my CB antenna ran through the ceiling. I did finally get all the patina work done on it. I still got to shine it up and sand it down with the 2000 grit to make it nice and polished look. I did finish back here a little bit. I didn't tape like I should have, but who cares? I'm just gonna sand it out, wet sand it. My last video of my old Econoline, I did have these as fold-out boxes that came off the side, and then I reworked the faces of them to fit this new box, which has 5 baffles, like run in a maze across the whole thing. And then I have my sound bar, which is the piezo tweeters, 3 1/4. And then I made a little cover for my big boys. So I got 2 Alpine R's and then the Sundown, like was in the last video, but I took the lid off because it kept rattling. So when I just put a cloth top on it, makes it a little bit more accessible. I did run my power wire all the way from the front of the van to the back to these 3 batteries. And then to these other 2 batteries. I got my fuses there and also there. And I do have plans on putting a 6x9s in here with 2 more piezo tweeters, and same thing on this side, 2 piezo tweeters and a 6x9. And these are the new tires I bought. The last place I had tires put on, they put on 4 plies instead of 10 ply. This vehicle requires 10 plies, but I'm not a tire guy. I'm just the person that pays for the tires we put on. These are the original tires that came on the van, some XT Commando Nationals. They're not too bad. And since then I also did put a sink in here. My ratchet straps are in it, but those will be coming out. And yeah, this is just a really quick update of the old beast. Oh, and I did cut the louver off, or the center part of the hood off, so I could get my hood scoop put on here. I do plan on it to be like straight out and then have it taper off to the sides to match this, and then a correlation to that. And yeah, we also I didn't ever do an update on the motor build and stuff like that, but we haven't really done anything severely on the interior of the motor, but we did paint a few things. I got my transmission Hellcat green, and then the oil pan, dipsticks, and the driveline Hemi orange. I also did the valve covers, the Hemi orange, and then I put double breathers on them. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but we'll see what we can sant. It is pretty easy to open this bad boy. But there they are. And then this one I did with the decal that says 360. You also can see the chrome breather on there. I didn't do the oil dipstick just because that's going to require a little bit more, but I am taking out the AC pump to make room for an alternator. And then another alternator right between the alternator and the AC pump. And then we're going to just revamp this alternator, which is 130 amp, to just maintain the vehicle. But I do have plans on putting 2 bigger alternators there and there, and just pretty much cleaning this up a bit more. I did recently change the thermostat out. Do not buy the performance thermostats if you have a 360 V8. They do not work. Almost blew my motor up. I bought the thermostat over at O'Reilly's that said it was an exact fit. It did not fit. I had to bore it out with a brake bore kit. And after 15-20 minutes of boring it out, it did not work. I drove it after 24 hours of letting the gasket sealer seal. I let it cure, put fluid in it, drove it the next day thinking that we were going to go on a big excursion in the big Bertha, but that did not happen. We ended up having to cancel our plans and go in the little car. But I went to the gas station, left it running while I was airing up the shitty 4-ply tires that I didn't know were actually 4-plies. I just thought they had a slow leak in them. And yeah, overheated over on my way back to the gas station at that intersection right down there, not too far away from my house. And the gas station's only like 2 blocks that way for the air. And came back up there, started squealing, making some noise. I was like, this is not okay. Got it to the house, started making it again, and let it chill. And we went out and did our airings in the little car and came back, and I had to redo everything for the thermostat and the gaskets and everything under here. But thank God I actually replaced the temperature sensor, because if I wouldn't have done the temperature sensor, I would have not known what was going on with my vehicle. Turns out the thermostat that I put in there had a circle brass cup on it, and that cup actually swelled to the full size of the inlet for the plenum. And so that caused it not to open, even though it was a 160 degree thermostat. It should have opened well before the actual like H on the hot scale on my actual temperature gauge up there. But that didn't work. So I ended up having to pull that out, and it came out in 4 pieces, which the spring and the brass piece, after I got it punched through, it fell into the motor, and the spring went to the back of my plenum, so I had to use a magnet and run it down and try to chase it. Fought that for 30 minutes, pulled it out successfully, got everything cleaned up on the hose and also the plenum, and then put the stock one that I actually thought was like kind of bad, because I figured, well, if I'm going to replace the temperature sensor, I might as well change the thermostat, save myself some trouble. I'm already under the doghouse. Why not go ahead and do it? So I go ahead and change that out. Didn't work. Overheated. Almost killed my motor. So I went ahead and just took the stock one, threw it in a pan of water inside the house at about 180 degrees. Opened up just before 175. It opened up. Even though it's a 160, they still have a little bit of variance in their springs because it could be really old. But to save me some trouble, I went ahead and drilled two little holes on either side of the thermostat, just in case it does seize up. Then at least I have some continuous flow, and I'm not going to kill my motor, because I don't really want to replace my motor in my vehicle. So after I did that, another 24 hours went by so I could let the gasket sealer seal, add my fluids in. We drove it. Worked plenty fine. And then I find out that my tires are not the correct ones. Well, now they are, but the ones that they had on the front were 255/70 16s, and they're supposed to be 245/75 16s, 10-ply, not 4-ply. And I'm really glad that we did not drive on those tires, the original ones, and we drove on these ones, because I also thought my power steering was going out, but turns out it was just the tires. These tires drive like a dream. They steer like a dream. I have no problems with my power steering now. And now the plan is just to get a same set for the rear, and then also my spare tire, which is inside here. But I'm also going to try to find an actual chrome one that fits and matches the rest of them inside on the van. But other than that though, this van's never really treated me bad. I've really liked it, and I've never really had too many problems with it, besides for like the previous owner and stuff like that. But you know, to each is their own. They all have problems here and there, but you know, we all get our stuff done. But I guess I will play the system a little bit for you. I'm playing some mumbles off my CD. I don't have my bass turned up too much. It's a little hard to see right now because we turned the brightness down. But we're gonna test her out for what we have right now for the sound system. And I still have some more to go in there. And like I said, we're only running a third of the wattage for the subwoofers, but they still hit pretty good though. Let's go back here so you guys can check them out real quick. It does move this glass a lot, so I do plan on trying to put some acrylic in here or something. But these bass lines do good. And that port is amazing. I love it. And then yeah, they got the Alpine R's and got the Sundown Audio and the other Alpine R. But it does good. I don't want to piss off my neighbors too early in the morning. But yeah, I just wanted to get a little update video, and I also did put the wing back on the van. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And you guys have a good rest of your day, YouTubers. Bye.